Oh dear, it's late morning and I am just now getting around to doing the chores. It was a stormy night here last night, so it made a late night for us because that dang weather radio kept going off. You know, those things are really, really handy, and I wouldn't live out here without one, but when it goes off over every single thing that's happening in the county, it gets to be a little much. Because, you know, we had several storms roll through the area, and anyway, we'd all just get settled down, just about ready to go to sleep, and boom, that thing would go off again.
It was about like the same as that thing.
Living in a mobile home, I always want to stay up anyway and, you know, make sure that there isn't anything bad heading our way so that way we can get somewhere if we need to, but so it made a late night and I was really tired this morning, so I kind of accidentally but yet kind of on purpose slept in for a while because I figured sleep is what I needed the most.
Especially since today's shopping.
Yeah, today's shopping day. I should have gotten up and around earlier because it's going to make it a long, late night. Storms are kind of scary for me anyway, at least, because we had a really bad experience one time with one. Back when Dylan was really little, he was probably about 2, I think it was. We lived in a small town out in western Kansas and we had a mobile home. And one day we had a tornado come within 2 miles of where we lived. We had just been to town that day to shop, and we had gotten home and basically put all of our groceries away. And hubby had went to use the restroom. And then while he was back there, all of a sudden, this great big hailstone broke one of our windows. Our mobile home had these big bay windows in the front, and basically the way it was arranged was that we had the living room, the kitchen, and then we had the hallway with all the bedrooms, and then the master bedroom in the back. Okay, well, that hailstone broke one of the bay windows. I was like, that's kind of weird, so I turned on the TV, and there was a warning that said, "Tornado Kismet now," in big letters. And I was like, oh my gosh, because Kismet was the town that we lived in. And so I ran back there and I told hubby to hurry up and get off the toilet because there was a tornado coming. And so I ran back up really quick. And about that time, the wind and the hail just started flying really bad. And I opened up the front door to see if we could go out because I was wanting to get in the car because the safe place to go in that town was either the church basement or the school basement. And so I was wanting to get there, and when I opened up the door, there was like no way of getting out of the house because that hail and that wind was blowing so hard, and those hailstones, they were jagged, and they were actually literally flying sideways. And so I hurried up and quickly shut the door, and about that time, hubby got up there, and so the first thing he did was just grab the curtains, and by that time, all of the whole bay windows were broke out. So the hail was just flying into the house. So he grabbed the curtains, and he was standing there holding them to try to keep the hail from flying into the house. And I grabbed Dylan, and I ran back down the hallway, and I think I went into the bathroom or somewhere. And I was scared. I didn't know where to go because, you know, in a mobile home, there is no safe place to go when there's a tornado coming your way. And anyway, it felt like it was forever, but I'm sure it was just probably maybe 5 minutes or something, and then it was over. But anyway, once it was over, our entire windows were broke out. There was hailstones all over our house. In fact, we had hailstones clear back in the master bedroom at the back of the house. The hail was, you know, flew down the hallway and everywhere. It was really scary, and after that, for quite a few years, I was terrified whenever we'd have a storm coming. That day it was really bad. I think that storm just kind of snuck up on them or something because there was no sirens blown in the town. And I learned later on that the church and school both were locked and nobody had come to unlock it because it happened, I think it was on a Saturday or something, and nobody was around. And anyway, for me that was super duper scary because anytime a storm would come after that, I would worry that we wouldn't be able to get anywhere if we needed to, and you know, places wouldn't be open. We wouldn't get the right warnings and stuff like that quick enough to get somewhere. And we ended up buying a storm shelter, an above ground storm shelter, and putting it right off the back door of that house, so that way we just had a few feet to run if we needed to, and that, you know, helped me. Then several years later, we ended up moving to Colorado, and we ended up living in a house with a basement, and I swore from then on that we would never ever live in another mobile home again. But here we are in a mobile home in the middle of Kansas now, so. Anyway, every time springtime comes and the stormy season comes, I'm always wishing that we had a storm shelter or something put in. We do have a cellar under my mom's house, and that's where we go if there's anything. But there, it's like you don't really want to stay down in there other than if you really have to. You know, it's not actually a place you could camp out for the evening or something like that, or, you know, go there and just go to sleep or anything. So what I really love to do would be to get rid of our house and get one of those small portable cabin sheds and turn it into a tiny house, and then basically put it over a basement, or more so make it, you know, into a root cellar or something like that where we could store all of our produce and stuff like that, and then have like a little safe room down there for storms, and then have bunk beds and stuff down there so we can camp out whenever we have stormy nights and we can still get sleep and all that. Anyway, that's probably maybe one of our future goals to eventually do sometime. Well, it looks like it's going to be another windy day today. At least it's not going to be stormy today, but tomorrow is supposed to be another stormy day.
Tomorrow and Friday.
And Friday. So anyway, we got our chores done for the most part. The chores we didn't do, we're going to do this evening after we get back from shopping. Well, we made it home after a long day of shopping. And so I got all the groceries unloaded and put away. And now I have to unload the feed right over there and put it away. And I went ahead and made up the bottle. And Miley's going to go gather the eggs, and we're going to feed the chickens and do all the chores we didn't do earlier. And then I'll go inside and fix supper, and then maybe call it a day after that. Boy, it has turned out to be a really awesome, beautiful evening after all that nasty wind we had earlier. I have to be careful and not let him step on my toes because I'm wearing flip-flops and that would hurt. Earlier this morning I mentioned that I think it'd be really cool to have like one of those little shed cabins and turn it into a small house. I forgot to mention that I'm a member of the Facebook group Shed to House, and there is a lot of people on there doing that, and they have a lot of cool ideas, and I think it would be just really amazing to do something like that. Maybe one of these years we can. I just have to get the family on board with wanting to do that. I feel we live pretty small right now, but it would be kind of cool to go even smaller. And basically the reason why I would want to go smaller is because our mobile home is a southern built one that was built in Texas, and I kind of think that it just doesn't have enough insulation for living up here. Especially in the wintertime, we have really high heating bills. And so, you know, I've always thought it would be fun to just be able to get a smaller house and, you know, basically have one that you could heat mostly with wood and basically just live smaller all the way around. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. I'd have to get the family on board first. But it's always fun to just dream. Now I'm going to have to pull this bottle out of his mouth, and I'm going to have to run so he doesn't step on my toes.